słuchaj, tylko się dogadaj z faktami o 16. Okej? No, jak się pojawi Trump, to ma tam chodzić.
就是等一下跟大家介绍一下，
dogadaj się z nimi.
走过来，然后 maybe 会在那里跟大家吃 ，maybe 不确定 maybe 是吧？我觉得我们都人家从哪吧？
I like it. I like it. Wow. Everybody say hi to you, actually. Let's say hi.
我一个人吗？可是我就是会朝他脚下，这样。OK， 好，没差，没有差，所以就是这样，就太方便。大概跪着的状态。这是一个不是戴耳机用。好的，那就这样吧。人数多了，差不多了吗 ？APP 进来了，差不多了。各位，我们prepare，大家说了。那如果差不多，就当大家盯着外面，再就让他盯着我，然后把大家拉近。然后我等一下手上会拿相机录，所以我拿不光好不好？我等下不光我会拿相机录，所以我等下看不到你们的办法。来看，他们说差不多啦，但是不知道差不多是多久。很久以前他说对呀。帮你们在一起。因为
Spodziewamy się, że lada moment pojawi się w tym lokalu wyborczym. To jest lokal wyborczy, w którym głosował 4 lata temu, to jest lokal wyborczy, w którym głosował także 2 lata temu podczas wyborów częstochowych do amerykańskiego kongresu. Zatem spodziewamy się, że również teraz tutaj będzie, proszę popatrzeć na to, ile jest dziennikarzy, ile kamer, również są agenci Secret Service, policja, zresztą widać ich teraz idących w stronę lokalu wyborczego i co chwilę nad naszymi głowami lata śmigłowiec. Zatem spodziewamy się, że Donald Trump przyjedzie od tyłu do tego budynku, ale później, tak ma w zwyczaju, wyjdzie tym głównym wyjściem, w którym teraz wchodzą policjanci, podejdzie do dziennikarzy i powie parę słów do mikrofonów, parę słów do kamer, powie, że o godzinę 17 czasu polskiego była zapowiadana jakaś wypowiedź od Donalda Trumpa. Jest pewny swojego zwycięstwa, jest pewny swojej wygranej, to zresztą też wynika z mediów społecznościowych, które zaczęliśmy godzinę temu swoim zwolennikom,
最后吹票一下，大家可以在那个站之前之后，我们现在还有在站吹票一下。我们
stali w tych kolejkach, czekali, aż przyjdzie na nich pora, żeby oddać głos. Apeluję do nich, aby nie wracali do swoich domów, no i mówi o tym, że jest przekonany, że chciała, aby Ameryka znowu była wielka. Make America Great Again, no to są słowa Donalda Trumpa powtarzane cały czas będące jego twarzą. Ja rozmawiałem z Haimem Florezem. To jest jeden z członków zespołu prasowego Donalda Trumpa, który zajmuje jakoś państwa języcznymi, ale rozmawiał z nami. Proszę posłuchać.
有啦，在折的是放在那个，放在这边的选民都是那种看起来超爆无敌有钱的美国白人，这里的选民超爆无敌。对，墙上会排队，大家看一下，墙上这里有一排人，然后那里也有一群人，那天是在打网球。对，民主党今天领制度上它符合，但是它那边比较难买，所以不确定他们到底买的，是因为自己知道的，有人在那边买。怎么标语？暴动啊！你有多带新衣服吗？要打支票吗？暴动你要飞哪里？在哪里暴动？现在我要来一个亚洲多。右后方没有啦，右后方是台湾帅哥，台湾帅哥，台湾好棒。
Również oczywiście spodziewany jest Donald Trump, tam spodziewane jest przemówienie Donalda Trumpa, spodziewane jest to, że albo podczas tego przemówienia, albo zanim jeszcze wszystkie wyniki głosowania Donald Trump zapewne ogłosi swoje zwycięstwo.
我觉得这样太明显了，他这样子看他自己那边就让我们拍他。消音了，有吗？有消音吗？消音在了。喂，没有消音，就不会用了。声音还是小声，有吗？
，sorry， 因为这个是啊，是了，因为我们现在把相机，然后小朋友知道，然后把相机设置在他楼上，把相机设置在这里，这样子就超酷。没有，我刚刚没办法，因为现在没在接，然后我的手机需要充电，我没有办法吹麦克风，好不好？所以没办法，风太大，大家不要我说完了，等一下他们不来就没事，白天一招，好不好？一切看到画面，没有办法装麦克风。
Ale jeżeli on coś na przykład na albo...
哦，因为它第一点是声音的。现在6分。哦，不用擦吗？你看看，打给我下，我们再看一下。
Sudah ada salah satu service sudah dijaga di situ. Dari sebuah lapangan tenis ada di sini. Lagi juga di belakang saya ini ada
好，然后来一下，大家等我一下，我画面跳出去一点点，大家等我一下，画面跳出去一下，等我一下。
Идем на фото место.
突然很安静，灯变蓝没啊？灯一直都是绿的啊，好麻烦哦。灯一直都是绿的啊。灯是绿的啊。来了吗？啊？休克？有人手机上有新闻吗？帮我看一下 Harris 什么休克住院，是真的假的？大家帮我看一下，因为我现在手机在我真的很我先去，然后我先去蓝牙那边等一下。好，连上了吗？我连上了吗？各位，我连上了吗？我连上了吗？各位，声音有比较好吗？声音有比较好吗？声音有比较好吗？各位，我行的吗？有看到我回来吗？有吗？有吗？辛苦各位了，看我直播了多少次，现在声音才搞好。啊，风声有比较好一点。声音有好一点啊。哦，他口罩。Sorry， 我就是不听力学的话，我死都不听力学的话，所以终于我们现在终于有好一点的声音了。前面的直播真是好赞哦，好喜欢哦。哎，还是我从他一起播啊，因为我们刚做2段，前一段声音好，一段声音不好，然后这一段就是看他连我电脑都装来了，神不厉害，感恩赞叹神父。假的，但是我刚刚讲过，所以感谢神父。 上课程的人都还没换，你就把我当凯莉，对不对？你把我当凯莉。前面直播也有帅哥美女。好啦，所以我们不重开哦，我们直播继续。第一段看帅哥吗？到底？好啦，那我重开，各位，我现在立刻重开，好不好？你们等我一下，我现在重开，好不好？等一下，所有人等一下再进来哦，我要重开了，我要重开了，所有人等一下再进来哦，重开哦。Yeah, so I mean I don't know when it's gonna Miami 气温怎么样？28度。因为而且我们看反向，我是700万3个包括这样都涨，用反向镜头，你叫做反向镜头，声音 OK， 大熊，也是大熊，风很大，然后我笑死，然后我在那边笑死。然后刚刚第一段有没有人看到日本赛车？大家记得哦，如果没有看过第一段，可以回去看一下。大概到中间段就开始有日本赛车。相机电量吗？没事，我现在都关着。我现在都关着。那我刚刚换了一个电池，所以现在稍微遮上那个光，人会被吹走。对，大家打开看日本帅哥，切拍川普配的。我跟你讲，现在川普还没来啊，所以你们现在如果看的话，就是这个话题，好不好？所以现在川普还没有来。如果现在川普来的话呢，我就会换这个话题。然后呢，我会拉，我就不会帮他知道，因为我要用相机拍，大家就记得看，好不好？川普还没到，这个帅哥包。我刚刚大家第一段有看的话，知道我会换到日本帅哥的来。深深感谢大家。他等一下看直播的时候， 所以我的，然后看到那个机构很大，我要笑死了。70-200，赞助多少可以看到帅哥？你这个，你这个新手拉没有了，不是好不好？帅哥才是公共财，好不好？帅哥才是公共财。相机连拍要拍，没有我等下要录，我等下要录。想看三部配头发配这个头，真的有没有买那个？上线动分享帅哥 ID， 好啦，你们真的，而且我看到他是2880，真不是到40分，真的。我跟你说那一天我们去到里面，到里面知道可以一直找他结合分享，录影要手持对啊，那我找一下。手持啦，因为我的那个不好看，我觉得手持 OK 啊，没关系吧？是吧？等我，来试试看我录一下。因为我的那个脚架把快门改成展示跟那个，那我是用 TV 还是用骨架？100。现在在英国的话，把这里快门改成我改了。然后呢，我还要改什么？你可救命！我还要改什么？我现在 TV 老 TV 对我现在 TV 然后嘞，我该改啥？你看嘛嘞，我该改啥？那个。对，然后嘞，还有什么要改？
那我们可以先理清，
还有什么？不能喝水，又要一直说话。拜托，第2段直播听话，这样可以了哈。那我就手持。现在呈现一个对，应该呈现一个先听话的。上面反光什么？哦，那个对，没办法。第2段学习的。好了，那坐一下。记得我们在世界中心呼喊错，碰到跟哪？帅哥现在被他很慢的，你要他们看哟，那边有3粒针，下来了，我先坐了一下，再来坐一下，再开始对，太棒了。还哭在这。Okay, so but yeah, 打开看，有一点，可以看到，大家看在影片上面。
Вот это очень богатый район, сам избирательный участок 5604. По традиции голосуют все время. На прошлых выборах мы тоже это делаем. Собственно говоря, все кто приехал сюда в Флориду, голосует 45-й президент США по месту прописки. Он не стал отправлять очень конечно, постарается сделать шоу. Здесь интересная электоральная ситуация. В этом округе Палм-Бич. Здесь, наверное, 60% голосуют за республиканцев, но позиция демократов сильны, поэтому да, сегодня представится участвовать еще с плакатами за Камала. Немножко потому что его привезут с другой стороны. Там настоящий безопасности. Далее будут у нас, наверное, периодически видны сотрудники, ну, вот, которые штатские, штатские, это сотрудники офиса шерифа Палм-Бич. Чем знаменит шерифа Палм-Бич? Это те самые люди, которые
хотели вторую службу по выключению. Человек, который все время ездил по Украине и так далее, прятался за забором Здесь сейчас конечно, сумасшедший. Приехал, вернулся, посмотреть как утро, потому что вчера наши 4 митинга важнейших, количество штатов, мы закончили по традиции уже город Гранд-Рапидс. Спрашивайте меня, Мичиган, как мир я, честно говоря, сам не знаю. Третий выбор подряд, просто такая традиция. Трамп заканчивает там свою выборную кампанию. И очень интересную цифру он посчитал, что за 9 лет работы в изумительном режиме он провел в 10 секунд более 900 встреч с избирателями. То есть потратил все силы, которые у него были, 78-летний кандидат республиканской партии. А теперь надо полагаться на что? Удачу, на здоровье американцев, на честность тех, кто эти выборы проводит. Здесь, конечно, вот всегда вопросы. Даже не к тому, что кто-то обманывает, а к самой архаике предвыборной системы в Соединенных Штатах. Она старая, она непрямая, она работает через выборщиков. То есть, когда вот таких много всяких «но», то есть много поводов как-то смутевать, что-то подписывать, инцидентов, что-то не заметить. То есть, практически очень важно, как вы считаете. Проголосуют, скорее всего, 50 на 50, но тут тоже нужно понимать, да, ведь как какая-то система не прямая, даже близкое голосование, условно, в Пенсильвании, все равно однажды все голоса, одному кандидату.
川普快来，真的，所有人都在等你。要打招呼，他都等到说，我都是一直在跟你说，我还在忙，拍到镜头的专业人员。对呀，是。
Большого подписка Маралаку стали большой выставочный центр. Ну и здесь, да, все помогают, потому что Флорида республиканский штат, и психологически еще президенту республиканцу комфортнее. Ну а мы Трампу многие поставили когда бессмысленные аналитики единственное, на что еще так слава там тоже все гуляло, но в последнее время выиграли, да, опять стали больше предложений давать возможности. Честно, это все
冠蔓越莓那一个很厉害的。
Patrzę cały czas na te śmigłowiec policyjny, który lata nad śmigłowami. Pokażę Państwu ten śmigłowiec, który tutaj wykonuje nad śmigłowami kumpla. To oznacza, że naprawdę tutaj się powinno na śmigłowiec. Natomiast są i agenci Secret Service, i policja, i przed chwilą tutaj również sprawdzani wszyscy byliśmy przez agentów Secret Service, byli tutaj policjanci z psami i trochę to wygląda jak dzień świstaka, bowiem najpierw o godzinie
在美国时间11点半，好像开头好像7点，所以大概是8点钟在。是因为有，是因为有 early voting， 所以 early voting 的票会先比较快，但是每一周 early voting 的票什么时候点不知道，每一周的点票的时间都不一样，好很多哦。对，这个你真的是无敌耶，无敌耶，这个真的是厉害。你有开课的话，大家去线上看，大家可以追踪自己的 IG 账号，还有都会开一些摄影课啊、题材课，大家去上。这个来说，现在已经要准备所有的线上课，然后晚上下午我说全部都是帮我。不用哦，你都爱看直播。对，每一周不一样，有一些周它是到了今天投票投完了，他才把所有上来。有一些呢是事前就说，哎，那我们可以提前投票。风真的是大，然后波兰大哥已经开始在路线。其实他想跟有吗？我就是不要学我觉得这种身边很多那种厉害的大哥，所以你就觉得有专业知识的感觉。日本偶尔来一下。
Niewykluczone podejdzie do nas, jest całe mnóstwo kamer, całe mnóstwo dziennikarzy, którzy są tutaj. Marcin Przekocki pokazuje teraz właśnie ten nasz dziennikarski tłumek. Rozmawiam tutaj z kolegami z Danii, z Rumunii, z Włoch, z wielu Donald Trump jest w środku i głosuje. Tak faktycznie jest to lada moment. Powinniśmy go tutaj zobaczyć, wychodzącego, bo mówiła koleżanka z lokalnej stacji po głosowaniu przechodzi tym, podchodzi do kamer. Było zapowiadane na godzinę 17 polskiego czasu. 17 już zapowiadana, zatem należy spodziewać się następującej kolejności etapu. Głosowanie Donalda Trumpa, przejście do kamer, przejście do dziennikarzy, oświadczenie, jakieś kilka zdań skierowanych do dziennikarzy. Tak Maro, czekamy.
今天只有补选，选举人票，选举人票都是1月6号，我记得是这样。然后今天就是补选，算补选的票这样。大埔不喜欢的那一台是啊，我的头发被切得越来越偏了。某州投票的人比较少可以先开票，要看每一个州不一样，每一个州不一样。哦，他们在看来就是很烦哦。少廷啊，你说打麻将，开始在这边丢。大家知道，基本上普选出来就能确定吗？不一定，因为我跟你讲，我跟大家讲一下，有些州的普选，它的开票呢，它会有顺序的开。它比如说邮寄选开有人开到后面，然后甚至是有的州邮寄选票它可以收到10月9号，就是今天11月5号投票日，可是他们可以追得到10月9号之后邮戳的之前邮寄选票，所以很难讲，每一个州都不一样。我们要拉平选票，对，拉平选票，平选票那个太久了啦，大概开完我明天就开投中，然后 哦，折叠椅吗？有，可是我放在那个晚上开票的会场。我现在没有折叠椅，我现在只能坐地上。对啊，所以就也不知道到底开票的状况怎么样。所有人啊，如果当大家都在等候。上一次的话是礼拜2投票，礼拜6大概才知道结果，礼拜6才知道。一站就快去买折叠椅，好的，谢谢大家。真工作帅气。台湾时间开始，台湾媒体开始在练习，在拍。男记者一挥手，没转。
而且甚至进去到投票的时候，要先拿出来才。
晚一天会下雨吗？有可能。所以小时候38号我的开票现场是外面的，后面的一堆人都是一样，所以我没看到嘛。可以拿一点干脆钱买给他贵的种。我女就是有点类似啊，这个现在这一件，有带伞吗？有，带伞一个，而且不知道伞要给像这样，还没提了2次，被3次抢购。哦，他拨头发，后面的情侣红手配。我要笑死了！我的位置不错吗？对啊。他手机在看直播嘛？他应该在直播。他说他应该在直播，他在看播头发，所有人都在关注他。我也是。你们看小帅哥标风好大，现在客气。小哥哥现在做流体，ID 就ID 好不好？好，你看。
Ждем просто стоит.
脸都没看到那个腿出来。哦，有点视觉嘛，他是在看出来没看他。风先生带过我的每一句话吗？看专辑之前要补一点，直接叫他。他现在在工作，他现在在工作。他现在 Hello, my audience asked what's your name? Andy? Andy, say hi to my audience. How old are you? You look so young. Is that okay to ask? 27. Really young. Really young. Yeah, it is. So how long were you to work as a photographer? 5 years. So you were since that 22? Right out of college. Is that your dream 上不高。A lot of subway, yeah. Yeah. 网问完了对。Andy. So I will post your Instagram account after this stream. So maybe you got few followers after this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
可以下班了。
可以下班了。
不用等车夫。
不用等车夫了。你他好像等我搭讪很久了，是不是？ OK， 他同时等一下我把他的那个 ID 账号抛在线动里。我还在想，知道他想跟你去指责，他还是看我了。鱼，
才会洗洗睡睡。
你为什么我没有摸你导弹出口没有摸一副开心。你说你说。 竟然还有人说方等，一样呢？对，一部门不是，他5岁而已，还有一样呢？
那もしなんかじゃあ分かんない。
Diana, say hi to my audience. New Year's Day. What? New Year's Day. New Year's Day. Yeah. Diana. Diana. 晚安嘞，晚安嘞。
Where would you like us here? Is this okay for you? How are you? Okay. Well, I hear, I don't know, the people you mean? Numbers of people? A lot of people. They'll be at the convention center at Mar-a-Lago. We have a lot of people. I've just been very honored to find out that the lines are long, and the conservative lines, the Republican lines, are very long. We got back pretty late last night, and it was an honor. It was a great honor. We had 4 incredible rallies and left Michigan late at night. Many of you were with us, and I hear we're doing very well. I hear we're doing very well. We did a great job in that. We brought it back to the states, as you know. I believe in exceptions, as Ronald Reagan did. And we did a great job. We did something that they've wanted to do for 52 years. Yes, please.
Mr. President, you talk a lot about if you win, there are going to be tens of millions of Harris supporters who are going to be upset. What would your plan be to reach out to those people, bring them in? What would your message be?
Well, it'll be just that. We want to bring everybody in. We want to be very inclusive, and we will be very inclusive. We have a great country, but we have a country that's in trouble. It's in big trouble in many ways, and we have to straighten it out. We have crime is through the roof. We have people pouring through our borders that are not exactly perfect. They come out of prisons. 13,000 people convicted of murder. We don't need this in our country. We have enough difficulty. We don't need that. So I think people saw that, and it just seems that the conservatives are voting very powerfully.
President
just finish it up. Go ahead.
How are you feeling? Nervous, anxious, excited?
No, I feel very confident. I have felt. You know, we went in with a very big lead today, and it looks like Republicans have shown up in force. So we'll see how it turns out. But it seems that they have really shown up in force. I just got a call from Dan Patrick in Texas. He said they've never seen anything like it. It's been very good.
Looking back, is there anything you would do differently about your campaign? Do anything you regret about how you ran this campaign?
Look, regrets. You always have regrets. I can't think of any, to be honest, to use her expression. I can't think of any. Look, I ran a great campaign. I think it was maybe the best of the three. We did great in the first one. We did much better in the second one, but something happened. And this was the best. I would say this was the best campaign we ran.
President Trump, do you accept the possibility that you and Vice President Harris both might not get to 270 electoral votes by the end of tonight?
It should never happen. A thing like that should never happen. This election should be over. They spend all this money on machines. And frankly, if they'd use paper ballots, it would be over by 10 o'clock. And by the way, the paper ballots would cost 8%. It would be 8% of the cost. If they would use paper ballots, voter ID, proof of citizenship, and one-day voting, it would all be over by 10 o'clock in the evening. It's crazy. They use these very expensive computers, and I'm hearing in Pennsylvania they won't have an answer till 2 or 3 days from now. I think it's an absolute outrage if that's the case. Now, maybe it'll be later, but it's paper ballots in France. They went paper ballots because the mail-in was not working. It was corrupt. And in France, they went paper ballots. And at 10 o'clock in the evening, they had 37 million votes counted and done. They had a winner, they had a loser. And in this country, I mean, I'm just hearing that in certain states, it's going to be a long time, and it won't even be close. It won't even be that close. They say, I'm going to win the state, but it's going to take a long time to certify it.
Could you see a world where you don't declare victory tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing the same things that you're hearing. I'm hearing states where I'm up by a lot, but they won't have a final number for a long time.
What are your plans for tonight in terms of watching the results and so forth?
So we're going to have a very special group of people, many of whom you know, and they'll be at Mar-a-Lago. In addition, we'll have 4,000 or 5,000 people at the convention center. On the assumption I win, I mean, I don't know if something else happens. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of declaring victory, but if in normal times I would go over to the convention center, let's say at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or something, but I just don't know. It looks like we have a very substantial lead. It looks like we have many more Republicans voting today than Democrats, so if you have a lead and we have a bigger vote, that means you're doing very well, but they have to call a winner. They should, and they should call a winner, yes. Just stop talking about that. Go ahead. Oh, I don't know. I was honored to get Joe Rogan last night. I mean, Joe Rogan's a big deal. He's a very respected person. And I must tell you, Megan was fantastic. She got up and said some things that were really pretty amazing. But before that, I just think we ran a good campaign. I had good policy. We want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally. You know, we want strong borders, and we want people to come in. We want to be totally inclusive, but they have to come in. I think that was a big issue. To me, that was the biggest issue. I may be wrong. You know, a lot of people said inflation. Inflation's a disaster, but I think it's a second issue. I think the first is the border. We can't allow criminals to be put back into our country or to be put into our country. So you have 13,000 plus murderers allowed to roam in our country. Not going to be allowed. They have to go. You have drug dealers. You have terrorists. You have a tremendous amount of people that should not be in our country, and we need strong borders in this country. And I think people are voting. I think it's the number one issue. We'll see how it pans out, but I think it's the number one issue. I don't have to tell them that. I don't have to tell them that there'll be no violence. Of course there'll be no violence. My supporters are not violent people. I don't have to tell them that. And I certainly don't want any violence, but I certainly don't have to tell. These are great people. These are people that believe in no violence. Unlike your question, you believe in violence. Go ahead.
For the first votes tonight, where will you be looking early to see if you're having a good night or not? What's your goal?
Well, I think I'll be at Mar-a-Lago for the most part. We have a lot of political professionals. I'm going over now with Melania, who I'm very proud of. She's got the #1 bestseller. Can you believe that? He can believe it. But so we're very proud of the job she's done with that. Her book is #1. But we're going to go over to the office in West Palm, and we're going to say hello to the workers. They've worked very hard.
Will Georgia kind of be your first indication of whether it's going to be a good
I think so. I mean, I hear we're doing very well there in Georgia. I hear we're doing very well. I hear we're doing very well everywhere. Now, I may regret that statement, but I'm hearing that we're doing very well. Would you go louder? No, I haven't prepared a speech. No, I did speeches last night, all day long, all night long. At 2:00 in the morning, we left, and we did a lot of speeches. You can probably tell. No, I don't have to do that. You know, I'm not a Democrat. I'm able to make a speech on pretty quick notice. If I win, I know what I'm going to say, and I don't even want to think about the losing part. I would like to tell all of the people that are online to stay online. We have tremendous Republican lines, and I've been asked actually to say it. It takes a while. I'd like to just make the statement that I'd like the Republicans to stay online. Democrats, if they'd like, they can leave. But I'd like the Republicans to stay online.
additional pressure today, given criminal cases against you that would proceed if you lost or go away if you won?
I have no pressure whatsoever. I'm winning big cases. Those cases are all being won. The biggest case was the Florida case, and it's been won. I appreciate your nice question.
Sir, you and Mrs. Trump have been doing
No
this
pressure whatsoever.
for 9 years. Regardless of what happens tonight, is this your last campaign? Are you done after this?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I would think so.
How do you feel about that?
Sad, and very fulfilled. I think we're going to have a very big victory today.
Mrs. Trump, how are you feeling?
Very good, thank you. Thank you.
If you win, sir, if you win, do you have a plan in place to start naming staff and
We
officers?
have already a transition team, but I don't like talking about that until I find out how we do. I mean,
So, but how does this sort of threats from Iran and sort of assassination attempts sort of shape your thinking on stuff, right?
well, it doesn't. Look, we're not looking to do damage to Iran, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. That's my terms are very easy. They can't have a nuclear weapon. I'd like them to be a very successful country, but they just can't have a nuclear weapon.
Does it change the way you live, all the threats? And
Well, I think Secret Service has been a little bit tougher, to put it mildly. I see more machine guns than I've ever seen in my life. We're surrounded by, I feel very confident with Secret Service. I think they've stepped up. Look, for a long time, they didn't give us the help. They didn't give us the assets, as they say, the manpower, woman power. They didn't give it to us. And we'd have rallies. You saw the rallies, 50, 60,000 people. And I'd have less people than Joe Biden, who had 5 people show up. And I'd have 55,000 people show up, and I had fewer people than him. So they should have done a much better job. And frankly, the president should make a very strong statement to the outside world, because
How are you feeling about your team as you head into the last day?
I think my team is incredible. Look, they say it's the best run campaign they've seen. Some people said it's the best run campaign they've ever seen. But in order to make that stick, you have to win.
How do you feel compared to your past campaigns? Are you more confident now than you were about your team than you were in the last 2 races?
My team, I'm very confident in. Many of them are the same players. As you know, Susie, a lot of the people are the same players. They've been very good.
Mr. President, Oprah said at Harris's rally last night, quote, "If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible we won't be able to count the ballot."
Well, I think it's ridiculous. You know, Oprah, I was on her last show, or one of her last shows, and they picked the biggest people and all of that, and made a big deal. And I'm disappointed. I think Oprah's become a major divider in our country, And I think, frankly, she should be ashamed of herself. And you know who else should be ashamed? Fox. Because I've seen Oprah on Fox about 50 times making the same statement. And I think it's a disgrace what Fox does, because everyone thinks Fox is so pro-Trump. They're not pro-Trump at all. They've put Oprah on all morning long. That's all I see is Oprah. And, you know, I knew Oprah very well. She's been in Mar-a-Lago many times. Roger King had his funeral. That's the head of King World, which was Oprah's mentor. And Oprah chose the location. She said, Mar-a-Lago is the most beautiful place. Would it be possible to have Roger's funeral at Mar-a-Lago in the ballroom? We did it. The only time I've ever had a funeral there. And I think Oprah should be ashamed of herself to say that. She should be ashamed. She knows me. She wanted to run with me as a vice president. She was going to be the vice president. She wrote me a letter. It's in the book. And now she goes and makes statements like that. She's a divider. And Barack Hussein Obama is a divider, too.
There are people who are concerned that you didn't concede the election in 2020 when you lost. They're concerned that if you lost this election, you wouldn't concede again. What do you say to those people?
I think they're crazy. If I lose an election, if it's a fair election, I'd be the first one to acknowledge it. And I think so far, I think it's been fair. I think there's been a lot of court cases. Both sides are lawyered up. Thousands of lawyers are involved, thousands, can you imagine? And part of that is because we have too complicated a process. If we had a piece of paper, watermarked, you know that paper is more sophisticated now than computers. It's watermarked paper. It's unbelievable what happens with it. There's nothing you can do to cheat. And it costs you practically nothing to run. Think of it. We spend hundreds of millions and billions of dollars on these campaigns. You could do it for 8% of the cost and have accuracy, and we wouldn't have to be worried about when is Pennsylvania going to announce. It's really a shame.
Last question.
Last week, Howard Butler said that RFK would not be the secretary. Does he speak for you?
Well, he knows exactly what, but that's only based on what RFK told. I don't think RFK wanted that. You're talking about Health and Human Services. Let me tell you, he's a great guy, RFK, and he's going to do pretty much what he wants as far as I'm concerned. He wants health for women, for men, for children, and I happen to agree with a lot of the things he says. The one thing I told him, and I've told you in speeches for the last 2 weeks, we got to keep him away from the liquid gold, because the liquid gold, we have more than any of it. It's called oil and gas. That one I'm going to handle. Well, I'd be honored to have him. Now, I haven't spoken to Howard about that, but look, if you think of it, he came in third, in running for president, right? He ran a very good race. He had obstacles. The Democrats just really unfairly put obstacles up, and hence Kennedy left the Democrat Party for the Republicans. Now, he's a very smart guy. He's a very caring guy. He's very popular, too. We get up and introduce him. The place goes wild. No, we love having him. And you know who else we love having? Elon. He's been great. And everybody, look, everybody. Getting Joe Rogan last night and Megyn Kelly. This is very inclusive. This is a movement. This is the greatest political movement in the history of our country. And even you people, and some of you are fair sometimes, but it's the greatest movement in the history of our country. And I've made that statement 1,000 times. It has never been challenged. It is the greatest movement, and we're going to make America great again. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. This way. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Come on. Go, guys. Jack. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. How about